Oke, selamat pagi semuanya. Semoga sehat ya. Hari ini, today we are going to continue the lesson, which is about two-dimensional shapes. And I know that last week you have been taught by Budia because I have some issue. I mean, I have something to do, and but like only half of you that were there because some of you were practicing for the MC for the Pilar Film Festival. So today where I'm going to repeat we're going to rediscuss about area that has been discussed previously by Budia, right? But in a deeper more concept. Yeah, in deeper concept. Yeah. Okay, so for today, just take your notebook and also your exercise book because at the end of the class, we are going to do some questions, some exercises, and we're going to submit that on Edmodo, okay? So I'm going to start by sharing the screen and just talking about the concept. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so here I am going to use the GeoGebra, guys, to explain, yeah, what area is. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this rectangle here. So I have a rectangle. I'm gonna screenshot that a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Okay, wait, here we go. Okay, so suppose I have a rectangle like this. So in which that, let's say I'm going to say that this is in centimeter. Yeah? For example, like this from here to here is 1 centimeter, for example. Yeah, here to here also 1 centimeter. Okay, and I have this shape over here. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you anything about it because I'm pretty sure that you have already understand this because you have already learned this in grade 5, was it? 4, 5, or 6, ya. BTW Jovan baru datang ya, 10.38. Okay, saya ulang ya guys. So, question, because we are going to talk about area. I'm pretty sure that you already know what the area is. Okay, I'm gonna start with Tristan, of course. Yang buka kamera duluan, silakan. Tristan, ini luasnya berapa ya? What's the area of the shape?
Bentar, Pak. Aku hitung dulu.
Ya, dari sini ke sini berarti 3 ya. Dari sini ke sini 2. Berarti areanya berapa dong?
Areanya itu
Buat easy ya, gampang.
10, Pak.
10? Oke, kata Kristan 10. Saya simpan
10
dulu.
kalau digabungin sih.
Kalau digabungin kan cuma ini doang. Yang warna biru
iya,
ini.
garis-garis itu.
Garis-garis itu, oke, nggak apa-apa.
Oh.
Saya simpan dulu ya.
Iya,
oke.
maksud saya, iya ya Pak.
Jadi berapa dong? Deren. Ya, Deren silakan. Deren ini masih off cam nih. Kenapa off cam? Apakah
lagi rame, Pak?
Oh, lagi rame. Oke, rumus area 4 sisi W kali H. Oke, W itu width ya. H itu height gitu ya.
Ya.
Oke, terima kasih Deren ya. Oke, kata Deren katanya 6. 6-nya itu rumusnya dari width kali height gitu ya. Nah, oke, kata Deren begitu. Kita lihat ya. W kali H ya. Itu ada W-nya 3, H-nya 2. Hasilnya 6. Nah, ini benar ya, ini benar. Tapi pertanyaan saya, I'm gonna give you another question, still involving this. Okay, we know that the area is 6, yeah? The area is 6. The main question is, the real question that I am going to ask you guys is actually, what is actually we are calculating here? Kita ngitung apa sih? Oke, saya mau stop share dulu sebentar ya. Okay guys, so let's say I have this jar, ya apalah jar lah pokoknya, tempat lah ya. And then I am counting my pen. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I have 5 pen in here. Okay, I'm counting pen. How many pen do I have in here? Okay, how many pen? I can calculate. Okay, I have 5 pen. Okay, I'm gonna go back again. I'm gonna share my screen again, guys. Okay, for this one, Tadi bilang katanya the area is 6. Question. Ada 6 apa di situ? Apakah ada 6 pulpen? Apakah ada 6
Kotak,
ayam?
Pak.
6 kotak. Kotak itu apa kotak? Kotak itu yang kayak gimana
Kotak
ya?
yang di tengah itu loh, Pak.
Kotak itu apa sih kotak?
Eh,
Box ya?
katak, Pak. Katak, Pak.
6 apa? Kotak.
Ada 6 kotak, Pak, itu di tengah.
Kotak. Yakin kotak. Namanya
Iya.
apa?
Square, box.
Oh,
Aduh.
square. Iya, itu dia. Terima kasih Tristan. Wah, ini baru nih. Saya langsung kejawab ya. Ada 6 square guys di situ ya. Oke, terima kasih Tristan. Boleh dihapus dulu. Saya mau terima kasih itu sudah menjelaskan.
Pak.
Apa? Iya, benar. Itu benar
Bukan
ya.
saya ngelik, Pak.
Oh, kamu nge-lag. Kamu bukan Tristan. Ganti nama jadi nge-lag. Oke ya. So here guys, this is what really is what you're calculating. Okay, what is actually an area? So area is actually just like calculating how many square units inside that shape. Okay, so remember that the shape must be in a closed shape. Maksudnya ketutup ya. Kalau misalnya kamu gambar kayak begini gitu kan, ini kan nggak ketutup ya, nggak bisa kita hitung areanya gitu. Dia harus ketutup nih, set misalnya, nah gitu ya. So it needs to be closed ya. The shape needs to be closed. And since in here we have a closed two-dimensional shape, and if you want to find the area, basically yeah, you're just calculating how many squares inside ya. Tadi kata Tristan. Oke, terima kasih banyak Tristan ya. So in here, where are the square Pak? Okay, here I'm going to show you where the square are. Okay, so we have this one square over here, right? And then another square over here, another square over here, another square over here, right? Another square over here, and another square over here. If we count, how many square do we have inside this rectangle? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. You have that 6. That's why if I write down 6, ini bacanya apa guys in English guys? Ini bacanya apa nih? Ini bacanya apa nih?
6 centimeters per block.
Per block? Ini bacanya
kubik
apa?
sentimeter, Pak.
Kubik apa sentimeter? Kubik apa sentimeter nih kubik? Kubik.
Ini Pak, square sentimeter.
Square sentimeter.
Tadi aku udah bilang duluan, Pak.
Iya, kamu bilang iya betul. Iya, deh saya ulang lagi ya. Ya, jadi guys, ini kenapa sih bacanya square centimeter? Bacanya square ya. Kita ngitung apa sih di sini? Kita ngitungin berapa banyak square gitu loh. Ya, jadi that's why when you read this, how you read it is like centimeter square atau square centimeter sama aja ya. Gitu ya. Jadi yeah, because we are calculating how many square inside that. Yeah. So if you don't really know the formula, actually we can count it, right? The area if the shape is like this, and if we have some grids, yeah, it's gonna be very easy for that. Okay. So for another example, if I make another one, let's go back to here. I'm gonna move that a little bit here. And I'm going to make another polygon. Here we go. Okay, this time I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. Here we go. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna go to Abel. Abel, how about this one? What is the area of this rectangle? Sorry. Gimana Abel? Abel, halo.
Aku tahu, Pak.
Saya mau nanya Abel. Kamu namanya Abel. Ganti nama.
12.
Berapa?
15.
15. Oke. Ada yang tidak setuju dengan Abel? Setuju semua?
Saya, Pak.
Kamu nggak setuju?
15, Pak, bukan 12.
15 tadi Abel bilang 15. Tadi 12 terus diralat sama dia jadi 15.
Oh.
Ya, udah benar ya. Oke. 15 ya. Oke, so again guys, you can actually do this in two methods, yeah. If the picture, if the picture is like this and you have grids, you can actually count the grid, right? Count the squares in the grid, right? So when we have this, let's say again, this is like 1 unit. So this is like, maybe this is like 1 centimeter, for example, in centimeter. So which means that this is going to be 3 centimeter and this is going to be 5 centimeter, right? So the easiest way to find the area is like, I'll just multiply the length and the width, right? I'm going to say length and width. You can say width times height, the same thing. You can say base times height, the same exact thing, okay? Okay, so you only need to multiply the 3 and the 5. The 3 times 5 equals to 15, okay? Or if you want to check whether it's correct or not, you could, oh, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And there you have 15 square in centimeter. Ya, gitu ya. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next shape. Here we go. I'm going to show you another shape. Okay, this shape is this. Aduh, ini dia. Silakan. Siapa yang mau coba? Ini berapa?
Yang mana, Pak?
Yang segitiga.
Segitiga miring gitu ya, Pak?
Segitiga miring. Segitiga siku-siku.
Yang, iya,
Ya.
pokoknya yang bentuknya kayak ramp.
Ramp? Ya, berapa nih arenya? Sama ya unitnya ya. Ini berapa, terus ini berapa gitu kan? Gimana? Kiara deh, Kiara. What do you think, Kiara? What is the area of this triangle?
Base.
Base?
Saya tahu, Pak.
Tak dulu saya nanya Kiara. Allahu Akbar, sabar. Kiara, ya lanjut Kiara. Base-nya berapa?
3.
Terus height-nya?
2.
2 jadinya? Jadinya berapa hasilnya?
5.
5? Kayaknya bukan 5 deh. Gimana
Tahu,
ya?
Pak.
Base. Ada yang masih ingat gak guys the formulas? Still remember the formula?
Pak, masih lu 375 bukan sih?
Aduh, ya bukan. Oke, rumusnya masih ingat ya guys? So it's base times the height you divided by 2, right? Okay, just remember that when we're talking about area, so most of the time we will multiply instead of adding, right? And we know that the base is 3 and the height is 2, and divide that by 2, you'll get 3, right? 3 times 2 is 6. 6 divided by 2 equals to 3 gitu ya. Thank you, Kiara. Ya, gitu ya. Jadi bukan ditambah ya, tapi dikali. Kenapa? Kalau ditambah itu yang kemarin, yang perimeter ya. Kalau perimeter ditambah, luarnya doang. Kalau area itu dia ada perkalian gitu ya. Okay, so let's prove that it is actually correct. Okay, so actually guys, when you use this application, you can click and know the area. Jadi klik, ini tadi 6 ya. Nah, keluar 6 ya. Yang tadi ini 15 kan? Nah, 15-nya. Set. Nah, 15 keluar. Yang ini benar nggak sih 3? Let's see. Iya, betul sekali ternyata 3, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the reason why is it 3. I'm gonna ask you a question actually. If I go back here, guys. Why you need to divide this by 2? Ada bisa jawab pertanyaan saya nggak? Kira-kira?
Karena itu bentuknya ada setengah. Apa itu bentuknya setengah plus ada bagian yang setengah, Pak?
Setengah apa?
Setengah kotak.
Setengah kotak?
Setengah square.
Setengah square?
Setengah 3, Pak.
Bukan square itu. Itu bukan square.
Triangle.
Iya, ini triangle ini
setengahnya rectangle. Maksudnya
setengah. Iya, Cynthia, setengahnya rectangle bukan square ya. Bisa square sih, tapi lebih tepatnya rectangle. Thank you very much, Cynthia. So, actually guys, if I expand this, actually guys, this shape and the previous shape that we have, these two, is just like this guy, the first one, we divide that by 2. So I'm gonna snip that again. I'm going to show you that if I have the shape over here and I split that into 2 equal parts, I'm gonna use my ruler this time to make it neat supaya kelihatan rapih ya. Nih guys, ya, jadi ini kalau saya potong begini guys, ya kan? Nah kan itu jadi segitiga yang sebelah sini ya? Ya nggak sih? Ini? Ya nggak yang ini nih? Ya nggak? Nah itu guys.
enggak, Pak. Agak beda derajatnya, agak lebih tinggi.
Sama persis. Ini sama persis, lihat dong. Ini kan 3, ini 2.
Oh iya,
Ya kan?
iya,
Ini 3
iya.
juga, ini 2 juga, ya kan? Sama persis dong, gitu ya. So, let's go back here to the concept ya guys. So basically why gitu ya, pertanyaan adalah why does the area, the formula of the area is base times height divided by 2. Why do we need to divide it by 2? Because we only dividing a rectangle by 2. So which that means that if we go back to the rectangle, this is actually just base times the height. This is actually just base times the height. But you divide this by 2 because it's just half of the rectangle. Gitu ya. Thank you very much, Cynthia. Okay. Okay, so in conclusion, I'm going to write it down, guys. So basically, when we're talking about base and the height, ya, nih, tolong ditulis ya, guys. It needs to make a 90-degree angle. Tolong dicatat ini ya, guys, because this is going to be very important. If you see two lines that it's not perpendicular or make a 90-degree angle, then the connection is not going to be base and height. Yeah. For example, if I have, let's go back here. Okay. So if I have this shape over here, okay, this guy over here is a parallelogram. Yeah, I'm gonna zoom that a little bit. Okay, this is a parallelogram. Oke, bentar ya. Saya ini dulu, saya screenshot dulu. Aduh, agak lama deh. Cekaman. Okay, here we go, guys. So I have this parallelogram here. Yeah. Okay. We know that the basic concept of this, I mean, like when we're calculating the area of a rectangle, we only need to multiply the base and the height. The same thing with the triangle, the base and the height, but we divide by 2 because it's just half of that. And here we have a base and a height. Okay, let's say I have this as the base. Okay, we have H, K, J, I. Yeah, I, J, K, H. H, I, J, K, H. Okay, question guys, pertanyaannya. Height-nya yang mana ya?
Yang H until I sama K until J.
Ah, K until J, gimana?
H until I, Pak.
Ini, oops, sorry. Ini, ini height-nya. Yeah. Oke, kata Tristan itu. Saya mau ke Aira. Aira, do you agree with Tristan? We have different opinion.
Itu Pak, yang I ke K itu Pak.
I ke K, gini maksudnya?
Bukan, bentar Pak.
Boleh kamu annotate nggak? Silakan, kamu annotate deh. Silakan. Dari mana ke mana? Ya, kenapa itu? Kenapa bukan dari H ke I? Aira, why?
Karena yang H sama I miring Pak.
Miring ya? Ya miring, benar sih miring. Ya, miring ya. Tadi gimana konsepnya guys? Base sama height harus membentuk sudut berapa derajat?
90 derajat.
Nah, itu dia. That's the answer ya. So you need to understand the concept. When you take the base and the height, both of them needs to be 90-degree and make 90-degree angle. Yeah. So you cannot take the IH as the height if you are taking the HK as the base, right? Because this is not 90-degree, right? So that's why tadi Aira bilang katanya itu height-nya yang itu Pak, bukan yang ini. Height-nya yang ini nih. Nah, ya enggak? Nah, kenapa pilihnya yang ini? Because if you take HK as the base, this is going to be the height because it makes a 90-degree angle. Gitu ya. Okay, so let's go back to the concept again. So we take that the area is basically just the base times the height, right? The base and the height. Okay, now what is the base and what is the height? Aurel. Aurel?
Yes, base-nya ini enggak sih Pak? Berapa? 3.
3, okay. And then the height?
Height-nya apa ya itu 2.
2. 3 kali 2?
6.
Nah, sama yang tadi ya. Jadi sama dong sama yang tadi, yang rectangle yang tadi areanya. Iya sama. Still the same. Can you see guys? Here, this is another trick guys. If I take this triangle here, yeah, if I take this triangle, I'm gonna put that here. If I take this triangle here ya, ini misalnya saya potong nih ya, saya taruh sini. Ini hilang nih. Jadi apa sekarang? Rectangle kan? Jadi rectangle sama 3 kali 2 juga 6 lagi gitu ya. Ya ini nggak terlalu kelihatan karena kita nggak praktek ya. Praktek pakai kertas tuh kelihatan banget ya. Dipotong terus tempel kelihatannya. Oke ya. So again guys, please make notes ya. The basic concept of area is this base times height, where the base and the height needs to have a 90-degree angle. If it's 90 degree, then you cannot tell that they are the base and height ya. Jadi gini guys, boleh nggak sih Pak saya pakai base-nya ini? Boleh aja gitu, boleh. Tapi kamu butuh satu garis tambahan yang dia 90 degree angle ya. Jadi kamu butuh satu garis lagi dari mana? Dari sini ke sini misalnya gitu ya. Ini membentuk 90 derajat. Nah, ini boleh. Misalnya ini pakai base, ini jadi height. Boleh sebenarnya. Boleh nggak masalah. Tapi kan agak susah ngitungnya ya. Kalau gitu kan. Agak susah. Nah, makanya kita cari yang gampang aja. Yang mana yang gampang? Oh, base-nya pakai yang ini, height-nya pakai yang ini. Oke, mantap. Oke. Now let's go to the next shape. I'm gonna show you again another shape here. Here we go. Oh, this time is a trapezoid. Trapezoid. Yeah, this one is a little bit different. Yeah, it's not just the base and the height, but it has a little bit of different components. Does anyone still remember what the formula to calculate the area of a trapezoid? Ada masih ingat ya? Boleh browsing guys. Lihat, Google itu kan sangat baik hati ya. Nanya apa aja dijawab. Oke, silakan ada yang bisa bantu saya. What is the area? What is the formula of the area of a trapezoid?
Saya mau coba dong.
Ya, silakan.
Bentar.
Okay, I'm gonna write down. This is A, this is B.
Oke, aku tahu,
Right? And then this is the height.
12, Pak.
Berapa?
12.
12. Dari mana 12? Saya nanya rumusnya dulu. Aduh. Saya rumusnya dulu.
Tinggi dikali lebar.
Tinggi dikali lebar. Lebarnya yang mana?
Tinggi dikali panjang.
Tinggi dikali panjang. Panjangnya yang mana? Saya nanya panjangnya yang mana?
Panjang itu si B, Pak.
Si B? Emang ada si
IB.
B?
Yang B.
Ini nggak ada I loh. Ini L, ini O, ini N.
Ini, Pak. Ini B.
P mana? Oh, itu B. Oke. Ya, dihapus dulu. Oke, saya tulis ya. I'm gonna write down the size.
Jadi
ya.
ngitungnya itu gini, Pak. Karena tingginya dari sini, tingginya yang itu, ngitungnya dari mentoknya di sini, Pak.
Jadi berapa tadi?
12, Pak.
12. Ada yang punya pendapat lain, guys? Oh, ada chat nih. Oke, kata Darren katanya yang dihitung vertical height-nya Pak. Ini yang mana ya? Setengah kali A plus B dikali H. Iya, betul. Pak, izin off cam sebentar. Oh iya, itu bukan jawabannya. Izin, maaf. Salah baca. Okay, so here guys. So if you Google and type the formula of area of trapezoid, you will get something like this. The area will be equals to A plus B divided by 2 multiplied by the height. Okay, so where the A and B are the two parallel lines. Okay, so when we have lines in which they have been marked like this with two arrows like this shows that these two lines are parallel. Yeah, and one of them will be the base. One of them will be the base. Yeah, it can be A and can be B. Yeah. And remember that if we have this information here, so the area of the shape is actually just like 4 plus 6 and then divided by 2 and then multiply that with 3. Okay, so I write down there will be like 4 plus 6 divided by 2 times the h would be equals to 3, right? So I'm gonna erase that a little bit. Okay, so 4 plus 6 is 10, 10 divided by 2 is 5, 5 times 3 is equals to 15. So again guys, tadi Tristan bilang 12. Kita nggak usah pakai rumus dulu ya misalnya. Kita nggak usah pakai rumus. Misalnya kita hitung aja berapa banyak skor di dalamnya nggak sih? Untuk membuktikan benar nggak sih dia 15, oke. Okay. Here we go. Tristan, coba bantu saya hitung ya. Tristan, halo. Nah, 1, 2, 3, 4, ya. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Kamu baru sampai sini hitungnya. Kan ini belum yang ini, segitiga. Ya enggak? Nah, segitiganya dihitung juga dong, ya kan? Ini kan
Kirain
berarti
nggak
kan sama aja
dihitung,
kalau
Kak.
dia kan dia dihitung atau kasihan banget dia nggak dihitung. Oke. Ini base-nya 2, height-nya
Ya
3.
kucing buntutnya dipotong gitu,
Ini
Pak.
3 kan areanya ya enggak sih? Kan 3 kali 2 bagi 3 kali 2 bagi 2, 3 kan? 3 tambah 12 hasilnya 15 gitu ya. So, actually guys, tadi saya bilang ya konsepnya cuma base sama height ya. Tapi kalau if we talking about like trapezoid, yeah, there's a little bit different. The base will be like this ya. Enggak cuma base kali height, tapi base-nya akan jadi begini. Kenapa? Karena ini bentuknya ada kayak segitiganya di sini. Ya, makanya ada rumus ini di sini. Oke? Gitu ya. Oke, let's go to the next shape. Here we go. Ini dia. Ini waktu kecil saya nggak pernah main ini sih. Kalian pernah main ini nggak? Di luar gitu, pakai benang gitu?
Nggak pernah, Pak.
Ya pernah, ya ampun. Kalian tuh ya dari bayi udah megang handphone ya.
Main coba layangan, Pak.
Main tuh asal
Enggak,
main.
Pak. Dulu saya main masak-masakan keluarga-keluargaan gitu, Pak.
Oh gitu. Nggak main layangan ya, main gundu gitu, kelereng gitu nggak ya? Zaman saya kecil mah belum ada handphone guys, jadinya ya mainnya begitu, main gundu, main petak umpet ya kan, main benteng, kayak gitu-gitu dah pokoknya dah. Ya beda lah masanya sama kalian ya. Oke, kalian mau masanya gadget apa? Anak umur 4 tahun dan nonton TikTok. Oke, lanjut ya. Let's go back here guys. So, how about this one? How about this one? Ini gimana kalau yang ini? Ini ada base sama height-nya nggak ya, Pak? Kalau misalnya saya pilih ini jadi base-nya, berarti height-nya harus begini dong, Pak. Tapi sampai mana ya? Gitu kan bingung ya. Nah, kira-kira gimana, guys? Silakan. Silakan yang lain yang belum mencoba menjawab boleh. Ada Kenny, ada Felisa, Lukman, ada Brian Izin, Syovan, Rafael, Gio, Faliha, Kay Halim. Alzam belum nih? Alzam, ayo dong, Alzam. What do you think, Alzam? How can we calculate the area of this shape? Ini gimana ini cara ngitung areanya? Kan tadi katanya bisa aja sih kita hitung like the square inside, tapi kan susah juga ya. Ini square sih gitu kan. Ini square juga sih. Tapi ini square tapi kepotong ya.
Layanan ini simetris juga, Pak.
Nah, gimana tuh caranya kira-kira? Alzam, what do you think? How do you think we can calculate the area? Gimana ya? Saya kasih bantuan garis, guys. I'm gonna help you with 2 lines here. Okay, here we go. This is the first line. The other line that I'm gonna make is cekaman. Okay, here we go. This guy over here. Okay, so this is the 2 lines that we're going to use to calculate the area of the shape. What do you think those 2 lines are for?
D1 sama D2 bukan sih, Pak, biasanya?
Iya, bener Lukman. D1 sama D2 terus diapain?
Di ini apa? Kali.
Dikali terus? Udah dikali
Bagi
aja.
ya.
Dibagi berapa?
2 bukan sih, Pak?
Dibagi 2. Yes, Lukman. Yes, actually, yes, guys. When we are talking about this, kite and rhombus have the same exact formula, ya. Have the same exact formula to calculate the area, which is the area is equals to Darren, terima kasih udah ditulis ya, D1 times D2 divided by 2. Okay, D1 is the diagonal one and D2 is the, but again guys, it's the same thing as the concept base and height, right? Why is it becomes base and, although we cannot say that this is the base and height, right? But as you can see that these 2 lines make a 90-degree angle, ya kan? Nah, itu dia. Konsep yang tadi saya bilang gitu ya. Harus 90 derajat gitu. Kalau 90 derajat ya langsung bisa gitu loh, ya. So because they're making 90-degree angle, mana sih Pak yang bikin 90 derajat? Ya diagonal itu, D1 sama D2 itu yang bikin jadi 90 derajat. So that's why the area of the shape is D1 times D2 divided by 2. Oke, kan saya belum nanya siapa ya. Felisa, what is the length of the red line here? Berapa itu ya? Felisa.
4.
4. Okay, how about the green one? This one.
5.
Okay, so which means that we only need to multiply 4 times 5 and then divide it by 2. Kalisa, jadi berapa tuh? 4 times 5 divided by 2 jadi berapa? What is the result? 4 times 5 divided by 2.
18.
18? Almost, ya. 4 times 5 is berapa ya? 4 times 5 is 20, I think. Is it? 20 divided by 2, ya? Okay, ya. 20 divided by 2 is equals to 10. Ya. 10, ya. 4 times 5 is 20. 20 divided by 2 is equals to 10. Okay. Gitu ya, jadi 10 unit square. Okay. Okay, guys, so this is how we prove that there is actually 10 squares in here. Although we cannot say, oh, Pak, yang ini kan nggak square penuh, Pak, gitu kan. It's not a square, Pak. But actually, we can do something like this, okay? So if I cut this, okay, I'm going to use black this time. If I have this triangle here and I cut that and I put it here, right? What will happen? Here we have a rectangle. Oh iya, Pak, ini ada 2. Square, ya enggak? The same thing with this guy. I'm gonna cut this guy here, right? And put it here. What happened? Again, we have another rectangle. Sorry, gambarnya jelek banget. Ya apa-apa lah. Okay. And we have a rectangle, another rectangle. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8. And then we have 2. 8 plus 2 is equals to 10. There we go. This is one of the proof that there is actually 10 squares inside this shape. Yeah. So again, guys, the very basic concept. The first one is that actually area is just calculating how many squares inside the shape, right? And then the concept of area is just like basically it's just like base times height. But yeah, maybe you for example, like triangle, you need to divide it by 2. Also, like a diagonal like this one, like a rhombus and a kite also needs to be divided by 2. And you have trapezium also, right? Which needs to be divided by 2. But the basic concept is you will have the base and the height being multiplied. And just remember that the base and the height will always make a 90-degree angle. If it's not 90 degree, then they're not base and height. Okay, so let's conclude that. I'm going to write down here, guys. So the concept of area is up. So please write down the definition of area. All right, I'm going to write down here. Area is equal to, wait, put aside. Okay, so the area, definition of area, like is the number of square, the number, right? The number of squares. Square unit, yeah, square unit. Yeah, it can be in centimeter, meter, but this shape is a square, yeah. That cover the surface of a closed figure. Okay, you can get that. You can calculate that by finding finding or calculating or counting or calculating sama ya, counting or calculating the number of square, the number calculating the squares, yeah, the squares, calculating the squares inside the shape. Okay, so this is the basic definition, right, of an area, right? And satu lagi ya guys, tadi ada notes ya. So the base gitu ya and height itu will always make a 90-degree angle. Yeah. If you understand how to they understand the connection between base and height, it will be quite easy when you calculate any kind the area of any kind of shape. Okay, so the next one is I'm gonna write down the list of the formulas that we're going to use to calculate area of a two-dimensional shape. Okay, so I'm gonna write down the name of the shape and the formula for the area formula. Area, the formula. Okay, the first one is going to be the square. Okay, square. One square is the area of a square is s square. Okay, so basically, where do we get s square? Because it's just base and height. So if we have a square like this is s, this is s, right? So this is the base and this is the height. So s times s equals to s squared, right? So again, guys, remember that basically you don't really need to memorize all of this because basically the area is just base times height. Yeah, but I'm gonna write these down anyway. Okay. Okay, number 2, we're going to talk about rectangle. Okay, rectangle. Again, you can write down this as like length times width times height, or base times height. It's up to you. Yeah, but I'm gonna write down this as the length times the width. Yeah, some idea, guys, base and height. Okay. Number 3, I'm gonna write down triangle. Triangle, that will be base times the height, divide that by 2. Okay, number 4, we have parallelogram. Parallelogram. And the area is the same, base times height. Okay, number 5, we are going to have trapezoid. Trapezium or trapezoid. And the area will be A times B divided by 2 and then times it with the H. And where I'm going to write down here, the note is that, A and B are 2 parallel lines in a trapezoid. Yeah. Okay, next up is the kite and the rhombus. Yeah, kite and rhombus has the same exact formula for the area, which is diagonal 1 multiplied by diagonal 2 divided by 2. Okay, next up, actually we have one more, but I'm going to write down the formula for you, but we're not going to talk deeper about that because we're going to talk about that deeper in grade 8. Yeah. But I'm going to write down the name of the shape, which is circle. Yeah. The circle, the area of a circle is equals to pi r square. Okay. So the pi in here, guys, yeah, pi is actually, you can use the 22/7 or 3.14, but actually it's not that. You can just like use it in calculator. But for this time, if they are given information in the question, for example, the use pi equals to 22/7, just use that. Yeah. If you don't have that, assume that is 3.14. Okay, for the pi. Okay, so that's the theory for the area. Any question, guys? Any question? No question? Okay, now please take your exercise book. We're going to have some exercise. Yeah, take your exercise book. Oke, sebentar ya. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. I'm going to give you the questions. There are actually 6 questions that you are going to do. Okay, bring out. Let me download. Not download actually. There you go. Open. Yeah, loading low, loading. Here we go. Okay, so these are the questions that you're going to answer for today's exercise. We have 6 questions in here. So on your exercise book, please draw the shape. Yeah, you don't have, if you can use the ruler, please use it. But if you don't have one, it's okay. As long as the shape is like, ya pokoknya mirip lah gitu ya. Tahu ini segitiga, ini rectangle, so ya. So Remember what I always said, guys, whenever you answer questions like this, mathematics, science, yeah, physics, please write down the process. Ya, tulis prosesnya. Saya ulang, tulis prosesnya. If you do not write the process, then I'm afraid and I'm not going to give you a full score. Yeah, your score will be like only half of that. Okay, so please write down the process. Yeah, I'm gonna give you an example for number 1. Okay, this is how you write it down. Tolong semua tulisnya kayak gini ya, tolong nih. Aduh, capek deh. Okay. Okay, so here is how to write it down. The first one, you draw it, and then you write down the formula if you have the formula. Okay, so previously I have gave you the formula for the area of a triangle. So write down area, all right? And then equal to, this is the base times the height divided by 2, right? Write this first, okay? And then below this, write down another equal sign, right? And then plug in the B and the H. I mean, like, which one is the base and which one is the height? Okay, maybe I'm gonna ask yang tadi belum jawab ya. Saya mau ke K Halim dulu. K, which one do you think is the base?
The 30 centimeter.
Berapa?
30
30?
centimeter.
Okay, so if the base is 30, which one is the height? Okay.
9 centimeter.
Okay, why? Why? Bener tapi why? Kenapa nggak 12? Okay. Tadi konsepnya gimana? Base sama height harus membentuk sudut berapa derajat tadi?
90 degree.
Nah, itu dia ya. Okay, saya ulang ya guys. So the base and the height here, if you choose the base as this 30, right? The height should be this 9. Why? Because this 12 is not the height. It's not making a 90-degree angle gitu ya. Jadi jangan sampai salah gitu ya. So ini cuma mengecoh aja gitu kan. Kalian bisa jadi salah pilih gitu ya. So the base is 30, right? And then the height is 9. And then you divide it by 2. And then you can just like use the calculator, or you can do manually. It's up to you guys. And then write down the result in here. And then write down the unit, because this is in centimeter. And because we're talking about area, so it should be in centimeter square, because we're calculating how many square inside the sheet. Okay, so please do it like this. Write the process. First, write the formula. And then the second one is plug in any variables you have. This is the B and the H, where the B is the base and the H is the height, right? And choose which one is the base and the height. So previously, like I said before, you need to know the reason why you need to take the 30 and the 9, not the 30 with the 12 or the 9 with the 12. You cannot have that, because the 12 doesn't make 90-degree angle with that 9 or with that 30. Ya, gitu ya. Jadi it needs to be a 90-degree angle. So let's assume that this is a 90-degree angle. So that's why 30 is the base and 9 is the height. Okay? Silakan nomor 1 langsung ditulis aja. Ya, nggak apa-apa dari thank you ya. Langsung ditulis kayak gini ya, terus dihitung berapa di sini. Ya, ini sudah bantuin tuh nomor 1. Okay? Now please go to number 2 and 3 and do the same exact process like number 1. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to answer number 2 and number 3. Yeah, 5 minutes, maximum of 5 minutes. After that, I'm gonna scroll down and give you the number 4, 5, and 6. Yeah. Okay, if you want to ask di sini Pak, mau nanya, silakan nanya aja. Mumpung kita masih Zoom, okay? I'm gonna mute myself first. I'm gonna take a drink sebentar ya. Saya mau minum dulu. Ouch. Okay, so basically this is the concept here. You have learned this in elementary school, and how to calculate area. You have also learned this in primary, right? Elementary school. After this, guys, we're going to talk more about area, but in terms of algebra, okay? And story problems, of course. And also after this, we're also going to talk about what do you call it? Compound shape. What if we have a shape, a 2-dimensional shape, which is not a square, maybe a combination of a square and a triangle, for example, or a square with circles and so on, so on, so on. Yeah. So we call it compound shape. But the main concept that we have in here, I need to be clear. I mean, like I need you to be clear first. The concept, understanding the concept of the area of two-dimensional shape, which is like just base times height, in which the base and height has a 90-degree angle. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna wait until another 4 minutes. If you still have nomor 5 shape apa? Segitiga. Oke ya. Brian ya. Oke guys. Yang nomor 5 itu yang dihitung ya cuma yang hijaunya doang ya guys. Jadi yang 5 ini cuman like this. This here, this is just a help. This is just a help. So we have this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy, right? So number 5. So remember that what you only need to pick to calculate the area of the shape, the green one ya. Berarti yang green kan yang cuma ini doang ya. Yang ini doang, yang putih ini jangan dihitung, jangan ya. Ya, it's only like which one is the base and which one is the height. That's it. Ya. Yang mana yang base, yang mana yang height? Apakah yang 13 sampai 8, 6,4 sampai 5, yang mana gitu ya. And then you just plug in into the formula and then you will get the area of the shape. Oke, gitu ya. Nomor 5 ini shape-nya adalah triangle, scalene triangle. Okay, thank you for the question, Brian. Okay, we still have around 3 minutes, no 2 minutes actually. Nanti jangan keluar dulu ya, saya mau absen ulang. Soalnya saya absennya 2 kali ya guys. At the beginning and at the end of the class. Okay, cekaman. Yes, Alzam.
Yang nomor 5 gimana cara ngitung?
Ya, itu tadi. Rumusnya apa? Rumusnya apa? Base times height divided by gitu kan? Ya kan, Alzam? Halo, Alzam? Iya. Tinggal pilih yang mana yang base, yang mana yang height.
5 atau yang 13?
Ya, menurut kamu gimana? Tadi base sama height harus membentuk sudut berapa derajat?
90.
Nah, yang mana yang bikin 90 derajat? Pertanyaannya, kalau kamu pilih ini sama ini, apakah ini 90 derajat? Nah, itu.
Enggak.
Nah, kalau enggak berarti bukan itu height-nya. Cari yang mana yang 90 derajat gitu ya, oke? Silakan. Ya, Darren ya. Base-nya apa? Ini di gambarnya ada di situ ya. Oke, ngerti ya? Pokoknya itu aja tadi, ngertiin konsepnya adalah gitu guys. Base sama height udah, base sama height 90 derajat. Kalau itu enggak 90 derajat berarti bukan base sama height, udah itu aja ya. Gitu aja. Pokoknya yang base sama height.
Bapak,
yes.
Itu 6,4, Pak.
Ya,
CM.
6,4. Ya, yang ini ya, yang ini nih 6,4. Ya, sorry. Yang ini ya, yang 6,4 yang ini. Balik lagi. Kalau kamu pilih ini jadi height-nya, misalnya ini base-nya, apakah ini 90 derajat? Nah, itu pertanyaannya. Silakan. Kalau iya, ya berarti height-nya. Kalau enggak, berarti itu bukan height-nya. Gitu. Oke.
Pak 8 cm itu nyampe yang ke ini, Pak.
Ya, sampai dari
8
sini sampai
cm.
sini.
Oh, terus sisanya?
Sisanya apa?
Bisa dari situ ke yang kanannya?
Ya kan boleh aja saya perpanjang, boleh kan? Boleh-boleh aja kan saya perpanjang. Tapi kan maksudnya yang di shape ini ya cuma 8 doang gitu. Tapi sebenarnya kalau saya perpanjang untuk membentuk suatu garis lain gitu ya, biar 90 degree, boleh-boleh aja gitu. Tapi yang dihitung ya cuma 8 ini doang gitu. Kalau misalnya pakai base-nya 8 ya pakainya 8. Jangan dipanjangin, jangan, nggak usah. Ya, oke, silakan dicoba ya. Oke. Ya, it doesn't matter kalau ini kan like for this one, right? The line is inside ya, inside the shape ya. Pak, boleh nggak sih Pak saya gambarnya di luar shape? Boleh-boleh aja. Yang penting ini kalau diperpanjang gitu ya, itu tetap membentuk 90 derajat gitu. Ya, gitu ya. Nah, tuh hintnya di situ ya, guys. Jadi silakan you need to pick which one is which. Oke, sudah selesai. Ini sudah digambar semua, guys? Sudahkah? Oke, kalau belum di screenshot aja. Saya hitung sampai 10 ya. 10, 9, 8, 7,
Berapa, Pak?
6, 5, 4. Ya, jangan khawatir ya. Nanti saya kasih PDF-nya kok. Nanti di itu ya. di mana? Di Edmodo. Ini saya pengen kalian gambar aja dulu kalau bisa di sini ya. Oke, I'm gonna stop sharing. Ya, nanti saya kirim ya kalau belum lihat nomor 6, oke. Oke, saya mau absen ulang ya, guys. Oke, so let's see. Siapa yang masih bertahan? Kita ada 17 weh semuanya. Mantap. Tapi banyak yang off cam nih, guys. Kenapa pada off cam? Oh my god. Apakah kalian malu melihat saya? Atau balik ya? Malu dilihat saya? Jangan dong ya. Nanti kalau kita ketemu juga kan di sekolah, saya lihat kalian ya. Okay, guys. Okay, so this is the end of the class for today. So in conclusion, guys, I'm gonna make a conclusion for today's lesson. The first one is about area. We know that area, the concept of area is actually just calculating or counting how many square unit inside a shape. It needs to be a square, yeah. And then the second one is that the area of a shape is actually the basic formula is just like base times height, where there's a couple of variation of formulas. For example, like triangle, you divide it by 2 because it's like a rectangle, you divide by 2. And then for trapezoid also, right, you need to divide it by 2. Also like a diagonal of a rhombus or a kite, where you see that the diagonals actually make a 90-degree angle. So which means that, oh, that can be the base and height, right? But you need also to divide by 2. And I have given you the formulas, right? Which you can use to calculate the area of a shape, right? And then the last but not least, guys, the basic concept of base and height. So just remember that base and height needs to make a 90-degree angle. If it's not 90-degree angle, then you cannot say that they're the base and height. Yeah. So again, 90-degree angle. You can take the line inside the shape or outside the shape, as long as if you expand them, you'll get a 90-degree angle. Yeah. So those are the basic concept that we learned today. Next session, we're going to talk about area, but in algebraic way, right? So a couple of questions that will show up will have an algebraic expression, right? In which we're going to solve that using algebra, of course. And then after that, we are going to learn about the compound shape. Okay. Okay, is there any other questions before I end the class? Cukup? Oke. Jangan telat ya guys ngumpulinnya hari ini. Oke, if you still have any questions outside the Zoom session, you can just line me. I'm going to help you later on if you still need help. Okay, thank you very much. I'll be seeing you again on Friday. Dadah, bye-bye. Arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Saya Anya, arigatou.